Hey, Bob Nolan here with Thought Provokers SOS. Sorry or just self-conscious. How to apologize. Out here on the kitchen porch again. Hope it doesn't get too noisy, but it's so nice out here, I wanted to come outside. Hope the traffic noises stay down. This apology stuff, if it's not for you right now, maybe put it on the shelf for a later time when it's pertinent. Starting with me, I can't think of a person on the planet that has never needed to say, I'm sorry to someone and then do something about it. I hope these thoughts come across with provocation, not pontification. I hope they sound like the words from a friend, not a preacher. How can you overstate the power and influence of a genuine apology? Anyone would be happily surprised by the vulnerability of a really good personal confession. Back in my Catholic days, the nuns called it an act of contrition. Of course, that was mostly for going to the little room in the church and confessing your sins to the priest. But when you do it with a friend, or your sweetheart, a colleague, a client, it can diffuse a nasty relationship climate, even heal a relationship that's broken. Let's face it, most times when a person does something wrong, damage happens. How many kinds of damage are there? Financial, relational, or maybe someone's reputation gets dinged by negative words that came out of your mouth. Watch out now. Provocation warning. An apology is not an apology if you're not ready to fix any damage resulting from your blunder. Why bother to fix a relationship if you don't intend to fix what hurt the relationship? Emotionally, financially, maybe taking unfair advantage of some situation that cost your friend something. Maybe it wasn't something you did, but negligence. Now, whenever you're watching this, at the time of this recording, just a few days ago, there was a horrible shooting massacre at a Florida high school. The latest news is that there was an armed deputy there, and he didn't go inside to stop the shooter. That was his job. Whatever the reason he didn't go in, it's not what he did, but what he didn't do. I am not harping on this poor guy. He probably feels absolutely horrible. Sometimes, though, neglecting to stand up for your friend in a crisis situation calls for an apology. Maybe words you've spoken have damaged a person's reputation. Imagine going to other people and fix a damaged reputation by talking to the people. Now that is an apology with action. And just because someone hasn't confronted you about a wrong step toward them doesn't mean they weren't affected, doesn't mean they don't think about it. Sometimes an apology starts with putting yourself in your friend's shoes, thinking about their feelings, and going to him before he has to come to you. A couple of people have fussed with the idea where I said, I don't think you should ask for forgiveness. Well, to ask for forgiveness or anything else puts pressure on a person. The goal of an apology is to take pressure off someone by shouldering your own blame. Yes? The issue is not to get anything, but to do the right thing. If you want to be forgiven, the best way, the real way, the most successful way is to apologize and leave the forgiving to the person in their own time. People are much more apt to give freely and forgive freely if there's no pressure. Have a hard time promising to never do it again? Well, then why apologize? Are you the apologizer? Communicate your resolve of never again to the apologizee. Your resolve is a decision you make. It's easy to make a promise if you're serious, and it's easier for me to keep my promises if I care about the person to whom I'm apologizing. Many relationships have knots that have never been untied. I just call them knots, because apologies have been neglected out of fear, embarrassment, pride. But when you're offered a fixed damage happens, few persons will not very happily accept your apology. Then being forgiven is just a matter of course. A clear, sincere, authentic apology with action is like a beam of light in a culture full of deal breakers and less than authentic communications. When apologies are made with skill, you'll find that forgiveness and renewed trust begin to flow like a mountain stream. I'm Bob Nolan with Thought Provokers, and remember, a real apology is real humility. You be careful out there.